Alright, my name is CJ.
I'm Jake.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Doug.
Basically what we're here to do today is teach you a lesson. And kind of what that lesson is that even though life pulls you down and it kind of drags on you, God is with you. And in the worst of times, God is with you, and we really want you to know that.
Yeah, and I'm definitely familiar with some worst of times. One in particular, my mom got really sick about 2 years ago. She got meningitis, and she had to be in the hospital for about 10 days, in and out. And I just remember at that time I was really nervous, and it just was a really low time for me, and I really had to turn to God a lot of the times so that I could just stay confident that my mom would be okay. And thankfully she was, but that was definitely a worst of time for me, and I'm glad that God took me out of it. She's fine, so.
One of my worst of times is within the last year, we've kind of been learning more stuff about my dad. We found out that I have 2 extra sisters that I didn't even know about. There's lots of stuff. My parents have been fighting increasingly more, and in mid-February, my dad went to jail because he pushed my mom. All I could do was pray and ask God that whatever went on, was good. Now, they're back together. They're not as happy as I want them to be. They're still fighting a little bit, but it's better than nothing, And one thing I've learned, I just randomly open the Bible, and I find this. It's Habakkuk 3:17 through 19. Though the fig tree does not bud, and there are no grapes in the vines, though the olive crop fails, and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen, and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God my Savior. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to go on to new heights. So we hope that you guys can realize, even in the worst of times, when everything's going wrong, God is your Savior. He's the one person who can help you out of everything. He's the one you turn to. And then we have a poem. CJ here.
Okay, the poem is called The Footprints of God. In deepest sleep one night I dreamed that on the beach I walked. God was by my side each step, and quietly we walked. Then on the sky my life was flashed, the visions of all serene. 2 sets of footprints in the sand, where there is every scene. But then I noticed in some scenes of suffering, pain, and strife, just a single set of footprints at the worst times of my life. God, you said you'd stay by me, in good times and in bad. Why then did you leave me each time my life was sad? My precious child, God answered, when your life had pain, I knew the single set of footprints were the times I carried you.
Well, we hope you do.
Just like that poem, definitely in the worst of times, God will always be with you. And I think that just always trust in Him, no matter what happens and no matter how bad things seem to get. He'll always be there, and He always makes things work out really well. So really just have faith in Him and just trust that everything will work out the way you pray it will.